俺はルフィ、海賊王になる男だ。
It's a great day here at Kekfilet's YouTube channel. I am the Kekfilet, and today joining me is Buttz.
What's happening, everybody? How you doing, Kek?
I'm doing good. We're just getting back from our nationals. Was that your first nationals you've been to, actually?
That's number 2.
Oh, you were you in? Oh, you were in Dallas then.
I was in
September?
Dallas.
Oh, okay.
That's why I went there from the April tournament.
Yeah.
And that ended up being Yamato versus Cross AI.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that's how I got to the Dallas one. And
Yeah.
then the one that you gave me an interview last time for, that's how I got to this one.
Okay. Well, now we have to prep for the next one, whatever that might be, right?
April.
I do want to say One Piece Day is going to come up, right? For some people in a few days, I believe we have to expect a sign up, right? After that sign up comes up, then we're chilling. So with that, I actually just want to jump into why are these videos even here today. Today we're doing a video kind of on OP09 Yamato specifically, but additionally to that, I wanted to kind of cover a little bit of Nat's thoughts and OP09 meta in general to kind of spell out what the big thing is. And I think the biggest fear that most Yamato player you're going in, there was going to be a lot of blue Dofi, right?
Yeah, I practiced a lot of Dofi, and I teched a little bit into Dofi. My biggest concern was Shanks and a specific build of Shanks that could be showing up, which is one of them that decides to run for no reason 16 2Ks.
Yeah.
It is a literal wall.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's actually the most popular build. Other than, for some reason, I don't know if they're buddies of yours and stuff, there were a number, I would say at least 10 Shanks players there that were playing the Chopper variant, which I'm doing their whole video on with Sam. I'm not sure if you know who Sam is. He lives in California. But
Okay.
Sam, he played it as an actual meme, but a lot of those Michigan guys played it as they thought they were genius, right?
A legit, yeah. So I'm familiar with that. There was a group of from my locals that decided to all do the chopper build and everything and bring that to Nats. And I didn't. I thought one of my buddies he went 6-3 with it, and I think that was the best of the group that used that build.
Yeah,
I didn't hear anybody taking it higher than that.
I don't even know how many Shanks made top 32. Definitely may have been rough, right?
Yeah, that was a surprising outcome. Everybody was betting on that Shanks was a good bet to win it, and like NL would be a decent bet to try to go far, just because they believe there was going to be a high concentration of Dofi.
Yeah,
and I believe that too.
I mean, at the time, the reality is that I don't know what your matchups were. I only played against one blue Dofi. I did play blue Dofi, but
yeah, I played up against only one blue Dofi as well. I feel like this was the most diverse meta we've seen because it was like maybe 15% Dofi, and the rest was between 5 and 10%, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
my matchups were really
I do want to
interesting.
blame one thing that happened. It's the holidays, right? The holidays fucked everybody up equally, right? And they just put the least amount of effort. I have never seen so many people qualified for a big ass tournament and then just say, "Yeah, I'm not gonna put any effort into like trying to be good for this tournament." Right? like it was absolutely insane.
They were still stuffing, passing out on their Christmas dinner and everything, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you felt that same way. Were you just hard testing it through Christmas and New Year's?
I put a lot of theory crafting into it, and the only matchup I couldn't get around was just Shanks.
Okay. Well,
Otherwise,
hopefully all
like,
the Shanks die. It's kind of a funny thing when there's a lot of Shanks, they actually kill each other out. I've had
yeah,
friends quit Shanks because of Shanks. So that's
Shanks defeats himself more than anybody else defeats Shanks.
I actually think that's 100% true. That will happen all the time. But with that, let's actually just jump into Yamato. Specifically the deck list. I have the deck list pulled up here right now, and I'm going to go over a few things. We talked about Yamato last season, and was it 08 or 8? I think it was 08, not 8.5, right? I think it
Yeah, I
was
think it was
08.
just 08. Yeah, because we weren't seeing a concentration of Dofi just yet.
Yeah, yeah. But now you have this build. Obviously, Nationals is pretty tough, regardless, right? If this was like a side event or maybe even like LCQ, it would maybe perform better because of player differential. But what are your thoughts? How did Yamato work out for you?
So I'll say for one of my losses against Dofi, but the game plan was correct. It was just I just didn't draw a certain card at the
Okay.
right time. So like for example, like I even went first, swung 8, went through. They swung at me, played like Jinbei into Boa,
Yeah.
and then also yeah, and then I swung uh what one Dawn, I swung 6. They ended up resting their Boa and then countering with it. And then I played Ryuma and killed their Boa. So I was really ahead at the time. Then what is it? They hit me for life. Kika no joke pops down. And then the worst thing kept happening, which is they found their law. Kiku up, Kiku back in hand.
Um.
And yeah, can't try to swing extra play, but the the with the theory crafting I put into it, Ryuma stuck on the field and didn't leave the field the entire game while still went alive. So that was, I mean, in theory that worked out. And then the Viola was actually pretty fun to play with because it solves all your math. You look at your opponent's counter, you put
Their
a
life.
2K
Yeah.
in the third slot, and you put the bricks at the bottom, and then use 6-drop Robin and get rid of that 2K. So math becomes easy with Viola. Otherwise, my matchups were Enel first round, so I went 1-0, and then my second round was a BY, so I was 2-0. Then I went up against Shanks.
Yeah.
I ended up having no hoodie, no game situation. Lost that one. Second one was the 2K was the 16 2K build. Couldn't beat that one. He was a bro though, so I was like, so he's cool. We ran it back a few more times. Yeah, straight up, just cannot beat that.
Yeah.
So I went down to so I'm 2-2. What was my third match? I think it was Purple Luffy. So then then I'm at 3-2, and then I think it was Dofi, and then I went 3-3,
Yeah.
and then I went up against Alucci, which is my favorite matchup, and he went first, and he got too many bodies on the board that I couldn't get through, and
Okay.
he had enough hits to kill me. Lost that one, so then I'm at 3-4, or yeah, 2-4. No, 3-4, and then I went up against a Bonnie. I won that one, so
You
then I'm
beat
at
up Bonnie? How the fuck
yeah.
was that possible?
It's actually, I'm actually really comfortable with it. They don't use the Rouge anymore, so that's awesome. The
Okay.
dude didn't run Basil Hawkins, so the dude didn't really have any blockers.
Huh. He just what
Um,
relies on a drop and then
he also bricked.
okay. I just so he bricked. That's a big thing to do, right? But
Yeah.
I'm shocked that that happened. Okay. And
Yep.
then so Bonnie?
And then my last match was, oh, I was excited as hell. It was a Blackbeard, and it was the
Mhm.
first Blackbeard I ever got to play because I never get to play Blackbeard against Blackbeard. But everything worked out in Theorycraft. So when Yamato's going against Blackbeard, I'm holding a Hody Jones in my hand. I'm holding a 6-drop Robin in my hand. I already hit you for double damage. You're at 3 life. You tell me, do I get to use my Nico Robin and trash life and to bring it down to 2? Or are you going to pitch and tell me that I get to play down Hody Jones for free? No life taken. 10,000 to your face. Sounds
Yeah.
amazing. So that worked exactly how that worked. I never saw the 10-drop Blackbeard show up.
Yeah. You beat him before 10 dawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's the idea against any deck, right? Beat him before 10 dawn.
Yeah,
So
and now I want to go second more than often than
yeah.
not, because the
Yeah.
curve is play Toniyasu,
Mm.
play Onami, attach it onto yourself, use Toniyasu, and his effect added to your leader, swing 10,000 banish. Then split 6-drop Robin, and then you have a nice you can do whatever you want on 8. Check your
Okay.
hand, figure out what you need to do, board state.
Yeah. Well, let's
But
go over like the kind of updated roster for this. I mean, the only new card you actually have is Nico Robin. How does Nico even like feel in this deck right now?
it feels amazing because it answers the 5-life leader problem.
Okay.
The
I mean, are you still
which is
having a hard time against the 5 life leaders regardless?
No, because I used to use an elf for that all the time, and you just rush, give them 9K, okay, yeah, they're not countering. But that gives them a resource, and I have to swing. Whereas
Hmm.
I can just drop 6-drop, and then swing as with Yamato and get a little counter out, and then add 2 Dawn onto a character that's already on the board and swing and get counter, or they'll just go down to 1 life.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Is there any card that caught people off guard? Maybe the Toniyasu. Does everybody
Yeah,
have to read
people
this card?
still Yeah, every single person had a raid Tony Asu still, and I didn't think that needed to. I think we've been over this before. And yeah, Trash's character when your leader gets Wano Country plus 3,000. It's amazing because he gets. Say you have a weenie block, not a weenie blocker, but
Yeah.
a searcher. I will
Yeah.
swing with him at your searcher before I will do the other stuff.
Oh, so it gets like it gets full effect. Yeah.
Yep. I
Okay.
mean, worst case scenario, I can even say you're lower. I played another one later in the game. I can literally add 1 Don to him, play something out, use leader
Hmm.
effect, give him 2 Don, and swing for 5, use effect, swing more for with the Yamato leader.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's not a new card, but it's new in the roster. Is Ryuma? You talked a bit about it. It
Yeah,
looks like it's there for Blue Dofi. Most of the time,
it's
it's
it.
frustrating for them. They don't want to bounce it too much.
Nope, they do not want to bounce it. They do not want to put that back in my hand because when I play Ryuma, it could be either Mihawk Ryuma or it's just straight Ryuma. And if they wanted to give me a 2K back or my Ryuma, yo, I'll take either one of them. But no, it's I thought about it, and it's the most toxic card that I could possibly do because going second, I play Toniyasu, then I go add 1 Don to myself, use Toniyasu effects, swing 9 at their face, and then Mihawk Ryuma kill whatever they played out last turn.
Yeah. Okay. Was Miyako coming up a lot too? Basically, most games. Is this
Yeah, Mihawk's always great. I mean,
okay?
he's better. He's the best on first curve,
Hmm.
but he helps at any time because board swarm's amazing.
Is there anything you wanted to try, maybe change for like your next thing?
Yeah, I want to put 8-drop kids in there, and then as soon as the yellow 8-drop kid comes out, then I'll switch that for that
The
because
8 drop kids, both of them.
because well, I'm gonna use the green 8-drop credit for now because going second, I have this wide open 8-drop turn, and it fills it against certain decks like Dofi. They either have to red rocket or have a problem. So that sounds really awesome. So
Hmm.
it saves me for a good turn, and I got a big body on board. So when I'm swinging with Hody, um, chilling.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got it. And you can basically eat up your life not having a care in the world. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
so I'll be playing
it's
like
a
how body
build
does.
I never liked when I really tried. I tried Fortress Yamato.
Oh,
It didn't
never,
work.
never,
My
never.
brain was just too small. I
Yeah.
couldn't work it
Oh,
out. I had
it's
I had
disgusting.
games I forgot to use leader skill.
Yeah.
Put on my kid.
I've never been a fan of Fortress Yamato. Never
Yeah.
tried to play it. I tested it out right when it like came out, and I looked at it, and I was like, I tried it, and I was like, this, you just brick. What the heck are you doing here? This sucks. I hate it. And you lose against black, and then and plus I can't play like control. I play aggro.
Mm, yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And the 8-drop kids just because example, if you're going against Shanks, um, and I drop the 8-drop out. Worst best case scenario, the FD is building Snake and
Yeah.
backbend. Worst case scenario, they're using Otama and a backbend. That's 3,000 counter I didn't have to swing into.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess my next question can go from here too, because you're planning to play Yamato, you're planning to play other decks like Robin, which I want to do like Robin in a whole separate video, and maybe even like a Bella Betty. That's kind of like the 09 aggro Buttz decks, right? The Buttz profile. But
Yeah, that's my favorite.
cool. Is there anything else you like maybe you want to talk about as far as Nats go?
Mm,
Maybe
they could
I don't
have the
know.
side events could have been managed a little bit better. That's for certain. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
you know,
the venue is cooler than Dallas.
let's talk about that. The venue was much better. I
Yeah.
liked all the other shit. I did some Gundam stuff right now, the card
Oh,
game,
yeah.
but like that might be another venue as well for me soon.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, like, yeah, side events. If you are listening to this, watching this, do not go to these events hoping to have a good time at side events. You will wait 6 hours to play maybe 70 minutes worth of games, and then you have to go get your and get your pricing. I'm including that, right? And it's absolutely just not great. I wish they have an easier way for you to pay and register with just a QR code, right?
Right.
Or also every round was taking an extra hour to get started, essentially. So that's
like a lack of judges and employees,
yeah,
combined with just poorly ran. Because I mean, I signed up for an event. It was 1 o'clock. Didn't start till 2. I didn't
well,
think we get done till like 5, and it's like it's 4
yeah.
30-minute games, man. This is 2
It
hours tops, bro.
it's kind of funny. You know what I look at right now to see if I was to give some real advice, right? Because there are places that have a lot of players but not a lot of staff. Okay, they're called poker rooms. Okay,
Ah,
they run tournaments all the time, cash games, etc., and it can kind of be managed. You know, number one entry either being fast cash or just do it through an app, right?
right.
And then pay through the app instead of having to walk up and wait in a line for this, and that, and just get on with your games, or giving us more options. I kind of wish they had that, or if other TOs or people or even content creators can like walk up with their own product and say, "I'm running a tournament right now. Let's do it." Right? I have let's say I have a box, right? Like I'm doing a win a box here. I need 8 people. All give me
Yeah,
$10. Something like
yeah,
that, right? With
right.
and you also get maybe some promo, whatever that might be, just so people can actually play the game. Because like a win a box 3 rounds, if it actually should take like an hour and a half at the most, right?
Yeah.
So that's like how long people wait to play a tournament or sit in line for it. Just the more they can play, the better experience people will have. So that's my suggestion. Just look at those poker rooms, make it easier. I know if they don't have a lot of people, if they have more employees, it actually doesn't make it faster, right?
No.
It's all about the preparation, and I'm not sure if they're down with the prepness, right? But
Yeah, I mean, they could just take just a book, like a note from the book from any of the regionals, because all the regionals I've been to, the side
mhm.
events are on point. It's smooth. The time it says it starts, it starts. You just
You
pay cash,
know,
boom. Sounds
that
like
could be the
simple.
thing. That could it could be a play thing. It could be a core thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
mean, yeah,
it could be a lot of things, actually, right? So it's tough. And they ruined one thing. I'm so upset. I wanted to talk about this. This is a serious discussion,
yeah.
right? Well, how do you sleeve your decks? I have a real question before we get that started. How do you sleeve your deck?
Single sleeve katanas.
Single sleeve katanas. Okay. You ever see these weaves that play with like a character sleeve, right?
Yeah,
Well, someone got on LCQ. They got sharked. They didn't like lose a game or anything, right?
yeah,
But apparently, the ruling is the card, like the card inside the sleeve, has to
yeah,
be kind of facing your opponent, right? So
yeah.
if you have a character sleeve and you put an oversleeve, like as you
Okay.
would think, guys, it's water sealing it, right?
Yeah,
If you do that, that apparently textbook is against the rules. Textbook is against the rules. Now, if I was you, I would just ignore everything I just said and just pretend I didn't say that. And if they catch you on it, say I didn't know that, right? So you basically have to always set it up like this and
yeah.
have it out.
double open top.
Which beats the purpose of having the sleeve, other than to protect the outer sleeve, which is actually pretty important. But now it doesn't protect the card. You're gonna get crud in your cards. It sucks. So they're never gonna change it, because Bandai doesn't like change. If we could ask for one changing thing, that would be one thing for tournaments. I would suggest to you guys, ignore everything I just said now, and just play it the way God intended for you to sleeve your decks, okay, with character sleeves, and then like this. But that's I was like a big bullshit thing I fucking learned this weekend, so I wanted to share. But other than that, no, it's you can't. The main event was ran perfectly, like
on point.
It was on point, other than me losing, but it was on point. We had our own separate bathroom for competitors. We bought a lot of product, and it's just a good time getting in. I guess the only problem is food's like usually triple expensive, and I realize why a lot of card game players actually they choose not to eat for most tournaments. It's because they charge insane prices, right?
Oh god, yeah.
But if you could have, some sort of manager bring in some cheaper good food, right? Then that's what champions are made of, They're made of a DoorDash or whatever the hell that is. So
just sponsor Nathan's Hot Dogs. Just sponsor it, and then we'll have a hot dog eating contest after we're done playing.
You think so? I mean, people are usually very hungry at the very end, so that a hot dog eating competition might actually fuck. So
it might actually hit hard. You're like, yo, we just beat this competition. You want to try to play another one?
Okay. Well, I think we're hitting the end of the video. We talked about Yamato, Nationals. I do want to have another video with you very soon about Robin,
oh yeah.
And then
I got the spice.
Whatever's going forward from that. But do you have any shout outs before you go?
Shout out to my boy Kekflay. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to Cross AI for winning the whole damn thing. That was pretty damn cool. Yeah, shout out to all my homies I got to see, and then some of the people that were just like really cool to play with, and that I didn't totally remember catch your name or their deets and stuff, because they were just cool to play with, and I would have been like, shit, you could have been my homie.
Cool.
Otherwise, had a great time at Nats. Hung out with a lot of friends up from out of state, and yeah, had a lot of fun. First time in Florida too.
Sick. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching the video. If you made it to this far, you're a real one. Make sure you guys like if you're liking the video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you all in the next video. Ciao.